Alright guys, we are back today with the 2008 Ford Focus. This has been my daily driver for the greater half of 8 months or so. So most of the year, throughout the summer and whatnot, I've put about 13,000 miles on it, just a little bit over that. So I can say I've driven it quite a bit, put a few miles on it, and honestly, if I didn't have all the vehicles chaos I've been going through this summer, I'd probably have about 120,000 on it by now. But anyways, this is going to be a farewell video if you can't tell by some of the videos I've put out already. I've been kind of putting off vibes that I've been looking at other things. So I'm getting rid of it, obviously. It's all cleaned up. I already have it sold. The guy will be picking it up in a few days. But really what had gotten me to get rid of this was I daily drove my 2010 Lincoln MKX. For a little over a year, and it was just a great car. And I went down to this thinking I could maybe drive, like a compact car or stick shift, and it's a compact car, so it doesn't ride as nice. There's not as many features as the Lincoln, So anyways, I wanted a little bit of a nicer car again, and it's just what is going to be now. So no more compact cars for myself, I don't believe, at least on my daily commute. It's just too rough, the type of driving I do. I could definitely drive one of these, but considering what's out there, what I can sell this for, I'm basically making an even trade for the replacement vehicle, so I'm not really down anything. So it's quite nice that I can get rid of this and not really lose a whole lot. I put about $800 into it between tires, the window tint, and obviously the trailer hitch and stuff. So it's nice to be getting that money back out of this, just because the car itself is so clean. I mean, the previous owners, they really did take great care of it. And going to that, as I said, there's no rust at all on this thing. There's maybe a little bit on the rockers, like very down low. There's some paint peeling. Other than that, it's just they took great care of it. Such as putting little wax, like it appears to be wax of some sort. He must have coated these like every year or something, because there's, this is in the pinch welds, and there's like no signs of rust. I mean, it's a little patinaed up, but it's not bad at all. But I could scratch it right off, but I'm gonna leave it on. Hopefully it'll extend the life of the vehicle. So the guy that bought it, he's, I don't know, a little bit older than me. This is gonna be his winter car. Dude showed up in like a brand new Mustang, and he's a car guy, so he's gonna take care of it. So I'm happy to see that this will be going to a good home, and it's not going to be driven as much either. So hopefully this will be on the road for another 10 years. But yeah, looking at it, walking around, I have it all cleaned up for him, ready to go. Things we've done to it since I've had it. Put these Pirelli tires on it. They have right over 10,000 miles now. I did rotate the tires, so I mean, it's fresh tread up front. I added these mud flaps right here, just to kind of keep the splash and the rock chips down, which they do look pretty nice, and I think they've helped a good bit. I ran into some tar before I put this mud flap on, and it looks like we got some splatter up there that I didn't really care to take off. But again, looking at the wheels and tires, they do look fantastic. And when I got the tires, these are a 205/55 instead of a 50, so it's a little bit of a fatter sidewall, so it does add a nice cushier ride to it. If I were to keep this through winter, I was going to put new struts on it, new brakes. It's funny, I had it in my eBay shopping cart, and I was ready to buy them. So at least I didn't, and I did stumble across this car I bought. So thank God I didn't put that extra $400 into it, So coming to the rear, there's always been this curb rash. I believe he had some sort of minor fender bender of some sort a few years ago, but this is the extent of the ugliness on the car. Did take the plate off, it's on the new one now, but looking at it, we have the hitch here. Did use it a handful of times, so it's not totally rusty yet, but these do rot out. The finish wears off in a couple months on these things, but it's a SES Focus. It's got every option for 08 aside from ABS, a moonroof, and leather seats. And I do have to say, this car has been an absolute blast to have. It looks great. Obviously, it's all waxed up and stuff, shiny right now, but out of all the compact cars I've had, this is by far my favorite. All the Focuses I've had, even my ST, I prefer this to drive on a daily basis. This just is an all-around great car, and I feel like this generation of the Focus is really overlooked, even though I have to admit I did overlook it too until I drove one. The headlights are getting a little cloudy. I did actually order Lamex film for the fog lights, yellow film, and it came in today. I'm going to hold on to that though. Maybe I can apply it to something else down the road. But yeah, I planned on keeping it, you know, for a while and putting that Lamex film on. But anyways, the badge is kind of rock chipped up. I believe that's probably from the previous ownership, but I probably attribute it to it. But yeah, we'll go inside now and take a look at the inside. And again, it's 2008. It's 11 years old, so it's not going to be perfect. I did add these rain visors. I do have to admit, they were only $18 on eBay, and they quite suck. And I kind of got tired of them falling off, and I glued them on. But if I were buying the car, just rip these off and maybe get some WeatherTechs for it. It doesn't always add up to go the cheapest route, because if I just bought WeatherTechs, I wouldn't have had to look at this glue all year long. But looking over at the interior, I gave it a detail real fast, wiped it down, blew it out. Not a whole lot of wear. I think I sat on a piece of gum and it melted to the cloth, but other than that, the interior has been, you know, pretty well kept. Again, it's 11 years old. It's not perfect, but the carpets are all there, clean carpets. Door panel, I think I scuffed it up a little bit right there. And then I was also doing this thing where I rested my elbow on the door when I was driving, and it would pinch my arm. Like, my arm would get stuck in this lock right here, and it would lock on my arm and pinch me, and it would hurt. So I got sick and tired of one day, and I took a lighter and I melted it right down, and I no longer have that issue. So again, looking at the door panels, all hard touch plastic. It's 2008. This is right when the economy was dumping, and they were going as cheap as they could as far as materials. But anyways, over to the interior, check it out. We do have 2 sets of keys, so they put those both together. Again, 5-speed stick, of course. I do have to say, that's really the only combination I could see myself driving in a naturally aspirated Focus. The stick shift just makes this car. It's quite peppy too for what it is. Looking at the wheel, it is leather wrapped, of course. It's mildly worn off. Again, it's an old car. The buttons I kind of they've peeled off to me, because I do use Cruise a lot, but they weren't exactly peeled when I bought it, but you know, they were kind of like that. But anyhow, I do love the steering wheel audio controls. The headlights right here, automatic fog lights, or fog lights. I wish I had automatic headlights. That is one feature that I did miss, actually. We have gauge dimming right here, and it also turns on the light up top. So again, we have the e-brake engaged, so we'll hit the reset and check out the final mileage for the video. It is 112, 342. So again, right about 13,000 miles in this ownership. So I do have to say, this car is fantastic on gas. I can squeeze 36 out of this all day. I can go a couple days driving to work. I can go about 450 miles on a tank of gas on a road trip, not daily driving. But it's just a great car. It's an all-around great car. Bluetooth. It's about, I think it's the first generation of sync, so it is a little confusing and it's a little slow. But it's a 2008 Ford Focus that has Bluetooth. Not a lot of cars back in that time did not have Bluetooth. So anyhow, looking over at the climate controls, single zone, AC is ice cold, heat works great, and I have a little phone mount right there. Then we do have satellite radio running right now that is transferred over to my new car. For a 4-speaker audio system, I do have to say it does sound pretty good. I'm quite impressed with that. And then looking at the passenger side right there, it's all pretty clean, nice headliner. No moonroof, but it does add a nice bit of headspace. So we'll turn off the car so it doesn't distort the audio. I've noticed when I pop the hood, the audio gets distorted. So, but we are also right next to the road, so we'll see. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but we'll jump on over to the rear. I was washing the car one day and I noticed a bunch of scratches right here, and I don't believe those were there when I bought it, but I have no idea where these scratches came from. So it's I don't even think they'll buff out, but yeah, there's some scratches. It's a daily, but coming to the rear, we'll jump on in back here. Again, I'm not going to fit back here, but I do have to say the thigh support is really good, and I could definitely ride back here for a minute if I had to. There's the front end of it. Just a basic, honest little work car. We do have a cup holder down there. '08 was the only year that you did not get rear headrests, so I'm guessing in '09 that's when they mandated headrests for some sort of safety regulations and some whatnot. And checking out the trunk one more time. It did come with brake shoes when I bought it. I never put those on. It's probably gonna need wheel bearings by next spring, so I was able to put that off too for a while, which was pretty nice. But other than that, here's some wiring for the trailer hitch, and then the spare tire, of course, is down there. And then it's a pretty big trunk, I have to say, for a Focus. I'm quite impressed with it. It also is lined as well. We just have a little bit of rust starting right here. If the camera will focus, it's all type of weird lighting right now, but that's the only bit of rust I noticed on the car. And I noticed I was power washing it a few months ago. Excuse me, if you focus again. The paint started to chip a little bit, so I did dab that. But again, if you're in the market for something like this, definitely take a look at one of these. It's quite a nice car, and they're small, and it's a compact car. It's not like the last generation Focus where they kind of got a little bit bigger. This is just a great nimble car, fun to drive. So we just have receipts for discount tire, and I do believe I had saved the sales ad when I bought the car. I just printed that offline, just a PDF of the sales brochures back in the day. But looking at it, this is what the car had looked like before I bought it. This is the Craigslist ad, but yeah, it was a very well kept car, so just added a few things to it. Just, again, I really hate to get rid of it. Nothing against this car at all. It's just considering I drive 150 miles a day, I would prefer something just a little more comfortable for all-around day-to-day use. So we'll check out the hood real fast, and we'll wrap it up. This is one that I'm really gonna miss. But looking at it, we have a 2-liter Duratec, quite peppy. It's got around 140 something odd horsepower. It's a very torquey engine though. It's pretty nice. I don't have to rev it out or anything. I did add a not cold air intake, but a K&N air filter. And it appears the battery is from 2013, so that might need to be replaced at some point. So considering you know, the type of things I've done to this car, I've had to put absolutely nothing into it other than, again, the modifications I've done. So yeah, guys, this is the end of the Focus here. So as usual, thank you for watching, and we will talk to you all later.